Hey y'all, so we're going to do a fun comparison today. With No Time to Die just coming out, I figured it would be an excellent time to compare the two main Bond guns. Here on the table we have the Walther P99 and we have the Walther PPK. Both guns have been in multiple Bond movies. The PPK was the original and is what they're currently using, at least as far as I know. I haven't seen the new movie yet, but I'm looking forward to seeing it soon. Hopefully it's good. And then I have the P99, which was brought out in the Pierce Brosnan era and then carried into the Daniel Craig era, then once again being replaced by the PPK. So we're going to go over a few different categories. We're going to just go over quick manual of arms, concealability, firepower, accuracy, cool factor, all that stuff. Basically comparing the two, and then we'll decide which one is the best. Feel free to down below put which you think is the best Bond gun. We'll start with manual of arms. Now, both of these guns are double single action. What that is, and I'll show on this one because it's easier because it has an exposed hammer. Double single action is basically what happens is first trigger pull when the hammer is down is going to be a long trigger pull like this, and the gun fires. But upon it firing, right, the slide will run back and will reset to where it's now a single action trigger pull. So it's a much lighter, much crisper single action trigger pull after each shot until the gun is empty. So same thing with the P99. Again, long double action pull, right? You see that striker come back, right? But then afterwards it is a much shorter pull. Both guns have a decocker here. On the side right you have a decocker. Decock the gun. If it's cocked, you want to decock it. This one, the Walther PPK, has a safety as well, right? Safety built in here where the P99 does not. It is merely just a decocker. So, see there, I can push this up on the side. It decocks it. Right. So that's the basics of it. The only real big difference between these guns, obviously there's differences in materials and stuff, is your magazine release. So on the PPK, magazine release is up here. So I'll show it here, right? Little button here, pops out the mag. Whereas the P99, it's this paddle style here. They're ambidextrous, which is really nice, right? So you can do it left hand or right hand. It's ambidextrous, pops out the mag, right? Now, with that, I think it's to finish out the manual of arms, it'd be great to talk about firepower. Firepower, hands down, goes to the P99. The P99 is a 15 plus 1 9mm pistol, whereas the PPK is either 32 or 380. Mine happens to be in 380. If you want to be, a loyalist to the books, it should be a 32. I have a 380. But you basically are getting a 6 or 6 or 7, depending upon which gun you have. The PPKS adds an extra round. Gun in 32. Again, 32 is what they used in the books and the movies, whereas this is a 380. I think they should have used 380, but whatever. So that's what you have. So clearly, firepower, hands down, goes to the P99. You've got 9mm. You go way more bullets. You basically have double the bullets. So, firepower, hands down, goes to the P99. Now we have concealability, right? The concealability, obviously, is a Bond gun. It needs to be really concealable. It needs to be hard to detect, under a sport jacket or a t-shirt or, tuxedo, anything like that. That's going to go hands down to the PPK. Obviously, during the Sean Connery area, you saw the suede-style holster that he would wear. I think that you get to see it in Goldfinger. Right, fits in there real nice. Gun conceals really well under a, like a tuxedo or something, really well. Here I have the holster that, actually this fits in quite nice. This is the holster that you see in Spectre, right? I think you see it one other place, but you see it prominently in Spectre places on the tray towards the end of the movie. This little thing conceals real well. Now, the P99 does conceal well. I mean, it's not a huge gun by any means, but side by side, there's just no comparison. The PPK is a much smaller gun, right? So, concealability goes to PPK. Accuracy. Both of these guns are very accurate. Unfortunately, because of the ammo shortage, I don't have any targets to really be able to show. But I've shot both of these guns. They shoot quite well. I guess if I had to give it to one of them, I would give it to the P99. Reason being is they have adjustable sights here, so depending upon the 9mm bullet you're running, whether it be 115 grain or 124, whatever you might be running, they do offer different sights to adjust for the height and where bullet placement would be. Plus a longer sight radius than the PPK. So I'd give accuracy a very slight advantage to the P99, and I mean very slight because PPKs are known for being accurate little guns, right? So basically, you've got concealability and a smaller package but less firepower in the PPK, and you've got more firepower but in a bigger package in the P99. So really, at the end of the day, I guess it kind of is a wash on which is cooler. The final subject would be cool factor, as far as like which one performs better. So I guess to kind of figure out cool factor, it would have to kind of be which is more iconic. And I think hands down that goes to the PPK because the PPK is, well, I mean, the PPK was iconic even before Bond. It was an iconic little gun. Anybody that looks up the history of Walther and realizes that this thing was around long before, Sean Connery ever had it. The PPK has just always been an iconic cool factor gun. So cool factor definitely got to go to the PPK. Obviously they had the P99 for several movies with the Pierce Brosnan era and then in the Daniel Craig era, but they ended up going back to the PPK. And I think just because even though at the end of the day, this is a more capable gun. Like, if you just went and compared to how capable is each gun, the P99 wins hands down. More ammo and, 9mm over 380 or 32. Hands down, it goes to the P99. At the end of the day, this is just a more iconic gun. When people think James Bond, they think PPK. They don't think P99, even though it was in several movies. And I think that's probably why they went back to it. Now, again, I haven't seen the new movie, but everything I've heard is that he probably still keeps carrying the PPK. So I think at the end of the day, at least for my personal thought, I think it goes to the PPK. P99 is really cool. One of the reasons why I grabbed it was because it was one of the Bond guns. I also wanted to have a newer Walther. So that was one of the things that helped me decide to get the P99. But I think at the end of the day, the little tiny PPK just wins. But like I said, that's my thoughts. Put down below, what do you think? Do you think the iconic little PPK is the best Bond gun, or do you think it was really time for them to update and go into a newer style firearm, such as the P99? Like I said, put down below if you have any questions or anything, and have a good day.